Okay, my name is Tari. This is my informative speech for speech class. I'm here to inform you about how to be a true fan of a sports franchise and not a bandwagon fan. So, first off, I'd like to tell you that I'll give you some background on on the history of the Washington Redskins, because that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to tell you about some merchandise, and then we're going to move to appreciating the players that play for your franchise. So let me start out by giving you some background on the Redskins. So in 1932, George Marshall, started the Redskins in 1932 in Boston, Massachusetts. They were named the Boston Braves. 1933, he moved across town to Fenway Park, and he renamed the team the Boston Redskins. In 1937, he had a fallout, so he moved from Boston to Washington, D.C., and that formed the love of my life, the Washington Redskins. So as far as the background goes, of course, I'm not that old to 1937, so my start with the franchise is in 1980. I was born in Richmond, Virginia, which was at the time the heart of Redskin country, which now has turned into like Baltimore, Carolina Panthers, and a mix of craziness. So, now I gave you some background on the Washington Redskins. I'd like to tell you about what makes a true fan no matter the circumstances. So in the 1980s, those the Redskins' golden years. We won 2 Super Bowls, went to 3 in the 80s, and we went again and won another Super Bowl in 92. Our first Redskins Super Bowl came with John Riggins, and they nicknamed him Diesel. His memorable moment was running through like 5 Dolphins on his way to the game-clinching touchdown, and we won in 1983. We went back to the Super Bowl in 1987 with Doug Williams as quarterback and immortal Joe Gibbs as coach. We set numerous records during that Super Bowl, including a single-game touchdown record by Ricky Timmons-Smith and the first black quarterback to ever start and win the Super Bowl in Doug Williams. In 1991, we went back to the Super Bowl. We beat Jim Kelly's Buffalo Bills, and we beat it with a Canadian quarterback this time by the name of Mark Richter. So since then, though, we've fallen on hard times. This is where the misery comes into play. We only went to the playoffs 4 times since 1992, which kind of stinks. So we also had tragedy. One of my favorite Redskins of all time, next to Alvin Walton, was the murder of Sean Taylor in 2007, where 4 teenage kids came to his home. They thought he was absent, and they came in there to rob him, hoping to pick up $100,000 or more dollars, and they ended up killing him, basically for no reason. So that was the most tragic moment in my sports life, and the Redskins immortalize him now. They have the number 21 because that's where what his number was. So no matter the ups and downs, you stay true and loyal to your team. So another thing that makes up a true fan is memorabilia. So you got to represent your squad to the truest. So you see I have some blankets, some pillows, some hats, cups, tables. We got 2 Redskins watches, and numerous people have tattoos, which I plan to get at some point, but I haven't yet. So that brings me to my last point on how to be a true fan, and that's to appreciate the players that play for your squad. So the players represent your city, and sometimes a whole region, such as the New England Patriots. The local teams generate all kinds of revenue, and they start programs back in their native cities or whatever. Like the city of Charlotte, for example, made tons of money off the Panthers going to the Super Bowl this year. Also, nothing is better than getting around your loved ones and your friends at the stadiums and gathering around the TV and watching big games and watching these players put on a performance for you and themselves and your city and the cities that they play for. So, in conclusion, we talked about what makes a true fan, not a bandwagoner, and we talked about how the Redskins has been through some triumphs, some downs, and some misery, and we also talked about how to appreciate the players for your team and why, as they give back to your local community and your city. So thank you for watching my video. That concludes my speech.